Hi cuties, and welcome to the final TBR in this place, as well as part of my Regency period day. If you haven't checked out that video that explains why I'm talking in this accent and why I look like this right now, that was up last Friday. But today we have to determine a May TBR because I have no other time to do this TBR before I move. And I'm not done with my April TBR yet. I still technically have 3 more books to read, even though it was really funny because I only had 5 books on the official TBR plus an indie plus a classic. I am almost done with Red Rising. I have about 2 hours left to listen to that one. And then I'm going to start When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord. And I'm currently physically reading Daughter of the Moon Goddess. So I will finish them, just I don't have a review for you at this time for those videos. Aside from that, I have read 8 other books. And I will do a little mini montage of some stats because by the time I get to edit this, I will have finished those books in theory. Anyway, movie magic, you understand and you don't care.
I think this is my new method of stats from here on out, so I hope you all enjoy this. I read 14 books this month, totaling in 5,624 pages and 101.5 hours listened via audiobook. It was a decent reading month with 3.86 average star rating, though I slowed in my reading time with it taking about 5.5 days to finish one book, but I did read quite a few chonkers this month and also I'm moving. I read 4 adult books and 10 YA books, no middle grade this round. I physically only read 4 books, 9 were audiobooks, and 1 was an ebook. Again, fantasy comes in the lead with 6 books, sci-fi in second with 3 books, 2 contemporaries, and 1 very good historical fiction. While I did not complete any series this month, I did start 5 new series, continued 2, and read 6 standalones. I read 2 indie books this month, although Atlas 6 is now traditionally published, but it started with us. Tragically, only 4 books this month included LGBT representation, and only 1 of them had a queer POV. I also was surprised to find I only read 2 books by BIPOC authors, but I really pulled it out for the new releases this month with reading 6 brand new 2022 books. Back to the video.
So, really briefly, these are the books that I have gotten to, and I've actually read quite a few newer releases this year, and some that I really anticipated reading, and quite a few of the 22 books of 2022. But first, a new release, and that is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is the special Owl Crate pre-order edition. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's an absolutely gorgeous book. It feels a little strange because I don't know how to place it and in terms of audience, because the characters are younger, like kind of YA, but it's written kind of middle grade in that kind of whimsicalness that you get in a middle grade read, but also has very adult themes. So it kind of bridges across all of the target audiences, and I absolutely adored this book. It was lovely. The audiobook experience as well, I highly recommend because there are some extra little things in there that really help emphasize the mood of the characters and the atmosphere of a story, and it's just absolutely a lovely read. Definitely check out Gallant. I'm in love with it. That's all I have to say about it. Then I read a 22 of 2022, and this was a book that Fee put on my TBR, and that is Stormfront by Jim Butcher. This is the first in the Dresden Files. I have finally started reading the Dresden Files. Everyone can get off my back. But I will say I wasn't a huge fan of this. I'm not a huge fan of Harry Dresden himself. He is quite misogynistic, and it's this nitty-gritty detective stuff that I'm normally not a big fan of. I do like the world building in this. I like the magic system. I do like a lot of the magic has consequences and things, and there are a lot of rules to it, and it's not just, oh, he's a wizard, he can do whatever. I do like that there are quite a few things. The thing I don't like is just how Jim Butcher writes all the women. Like, every single woman is pretty much interested in him in some way, and the character of Harry Dresden, can't look at a woman without assessing her for potential, like, sex and things, and I really don't like that part. Now, I have heard that Jim Butcher has addressed this and gets better within the series, so I'm willing to give him the chance and continue with the series. But as for the first book, it's not my favorite. It's fine. I did enjoy it. There are several characters that I do enjoy in this, but Harry Dresden himself is not one of them. Next up, I finally got to read Psytonic by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Skyward series, and I think it's my favorite. I love this book so much. It is like a grand adventure. It's in space, but it's also like in a jungle, in a forest, in the ocean, there's pirates and things, and it's got everything that I've really ever wanted and didn't even know I wanted in a book, and I just love Spencer so much, and I love all of these other characters so much, and it explores all these interesting topics, and I love it. I love it so much. It's wonderful. I don't know how else to tell you guys, but if you're not reading the Skyward series, you need to read the Skyward series. I think it is my favorite Brandon Sanderson series. Granted, I've only read this and I've started another one which I'll talk about next, but I just love this series so much, and I don't have the proper words to describe how much I love this series, but it's one that I'm like, I need to read again and again and again and tab it, and it's just got great lines and great characters, and it just feels like so Spencer in this. Like, this is peak Spencer that we're getting in this book, and I love it. Speaking of more Brandon Sanderson, I have finally delved into the world of Mistborn with The Final Empire, and this is a hacking chunk of a book. It's about 25 hours, and I do love Mistborn, okay? I will say it. I don't love it as much as Skyward. I still love Skyward way more, but I did love this book. I wasn't head over heels of it because it took me a while to get immersed into the world and understand how everything works, but I do really like this allomancy, this the whole metal magic that we have going on, and the world building of it. It ripped my heart out quite a few times and then put it back together a little bit, so I did thoroughly enjoy this. Brandon Sanderson just has the biggest freaking brain in order to come up with all of these and all these side plots and all these little kind of intrigues and things. I don't know how to put it, but I thought it was just, it's also kind of sci-fi because it's set in this world where it has kind of the red sun, and so everything's barren and things like foliage and greenery and stuff just don't exist, and I found that to be very intriguing for this kind of society to be able to exist during all of this, and just really interesting how all the turns it takes, and it's just up and down. Now it is quite a read, so you do have to use a lot of brain power in reading this one. It's not a casual read for sure, so bear that in mind if you go into it, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think I've actually had a really good reading month so far. Now that I'm looking at my stack of books, I think there's only like 2 that I was really disappointed with, and that was Stormfront, and I still gave that 3 stars, so. Oh, by the way, Psytonic was a mood read, so there's no card. I haven't had a single book with a card in it yet. But this one has a card in it, and this was the card for an authortuber, and that was The Stars We Steal by Alexa Dunn. This is my first read of Alexa Dunn. This is actually an advanced reader's copy that my sister gave to me because she met Alexa Dunn at a convention in Baltimore, I believe. And this is a persuasion, perfect for Regency time, a persuasion retelling in space. And you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit for this one because I don't quite believe the society that we're living in with this, because it seems a little silly. It's fine, because it was great. I really loved the interpretation of this. It was a bit frustrating, but that's what persuasion's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a very, a very frustrating read to know that these 2 characters who once loved each other and now they were torn apart, and they kind of harbor these ill feelings for each other, but they actually still are in love with each other and stuff. And then there's just all these other complications with all the other characters getting in the way, and so it's a very frustrating read, but it pays off in the end, I would say. So that's why Persuasion's not one of my favorite Jane Austen stories. I do tend to enjoy Persuasion retellings because in the original Persuasion, it's not told really from their perspective, so you don't really see the 2 main characters' feelings, but in retellings of them you do, and so I connect more with that than the actual source material, if that makes sense. But I definitely liked this a lot, and it was very fun, a very fun read, just swoony and great and in space. Next up, I read the indie book that we chose this month, and this is one that has been kind of circulating in the polls for a bit, but finally got chosen, and that was New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson. I got this years ago in one of my very first owl crates, and I almost unhauled this, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because this book is so good. Oh my god, guys. This is a great dystopian story. It's got a great main character that I just feel very connected with, and I really liked her story. I liked the relationships that are built. I liked how the world is built. It had very Tower of Dogs vibes, actually, which is Holla's book, and I really vibed just kind of like in the atmosphere and how the society is set up with the kind of these slums and then this inner sanctuary. That's pretty much as far as it goes with Tower of Dogs, but same kind of vibe, if you will. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. I pretty much read this in like a day. I wanted to just sit and read it. So this is another one of those random indies that I didn't think I would actually read or connect with that much, but with this and Buy Wing and Chair are really just getting me back into reading physical books for a whole day and just wanting to sit and read these books. It's so good. I really enjoy this. Definitely don't sleep on this. The summary of this book does not do it justice. There's not enough information here, and that's why I almost unhauled it, because I thought, oh, it's just another dystopian. It's not. It's very unique. It's very worth the read. Definitely check it out. I can't wait to get my hands on the sequels. And then I read the classic, which was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I don't like The Great Gatsby. I knew I wasn't going to like Great Gatsby. I've seen the movie. I know the story. I don't think I ever read it in school, or I don't think this was one we had to read in school. I just don't care about it. I didn't connect at all with this. I just don't care. I don't. There's no character I like in this. Everyone's stupid, and I don't get the point of the story. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's it. That's the review. I don't like it. Last book that I just finished, actually did not expect to get to, because I had requested it on Libby, and it said several months before it would drop for me to listen. And then it dropped the next day. So what's up with that, Libby? But that is The Atlas 6 by Olivier Blake. I think it's Olivier Blake, I'm not sure. But this was a previously self-published book that is now traditionally published. It was picked up and re-released this year. This is a fancy Illumicrate adult. Illumicrate has, wait, no, Fairyloot, not Illumicrate. Fairyloot has their new adult book box subscription only. It's just the book, and their first theme was Dark Academia, and it is The Atlas 6. So it's absolutely gorgeous, though. I read this. Now, I didn't enjoy this entirely. I did like it a lot. I still give it 4 stars because, damn, the big brain. Again, the big brain you need to come up with this. The downside of it is I didn't really like some of the characters and how it played out. Like, there is a heaviness in sexual content in this. I'm not a really big fan of that, especially in kind of the ruining of one of the characters. Not ruining, but one of the characters is kind of this innocent girl who has a lot of anxiety and stuff, and everyone kind of underestimates her. And they do a thing that I don't really appreciate with her character. It's not even the thing at the end. It's the thing in the middle with Tristan and Parisa, and I'm not a fan of that, especially because there's a cheating aspect to things, and I don't vibe with that at all. Then in the end, you kind of see other things that have come to part, so it's weird, it's interesting. It's not, like, it was weird because I didn't really care for any of the characters in particular. Like, they were all interesting, but I didn't, like, connect with any of them, and some of them, because it switches POVs, when it got to their POV, I was just like, oh, get it over with. Like, I don't care about Tristan. I'm sorry. I just don't care about him at all. And Callum, I don't really care about, even though he was read by Steve West, who's one of my favorite narrators. Parisa, I don't really care about. I like Raina. I think I vibed the most with Raina, but I don't think Raina got enough page time. I feel like, I thought of all the things, if anyone was going to die in this, I thought they would kill off Raina, because she wasn't, like, connecting with the other team members at all. So, fine. Nico was okay. The Libby I kind of connected with a little bit just because of her anxiety and desire to please the world. But again, yeah, it was just, I didn't vibe with everyone here, so I do want to read the sequel, which this sounds like I really hated the book. I didn't. I really liked the world building of it. I really liked the concept of it. I just wasn't vibing with the characters, and since I'm a very character-driven person, if I can't have that, then it doesn't become a great book to me. It's still a good book, and I definitely like this, and I think it definitely deserved to be picked up traditionally. And I get the hype around this series. I get a lot of the massive world would enjoy this book. I'm just a weird outlier that doesn't like a lot of like adult themes and sexual content. So why did I subscribe to an adult book box, you may ask? Because I'm trying new things. Those are all the books that I have finished as of this video. Like I said, I am almost done with Red Rising, and it's kind of okay as well. Daughter of the Moon Goddess is also okay as well, and then I will read When You Get the Chance, and that will be all of TBR. I will have some other reads that I think I'll be doing. I probably will be reading The Red Palace by June Her, because that also dropped in my Libby app. But as for that, I don't know what else may come to pass, because it is only the 23rd of April right now, just FYI. As of the day I'm filming this, so I still have a good week to get through books, so who knows what it will be. But it's time to do the TBR game. So I don't technically have I don't have a punishment to do, which is nice, but I also don't feel like I can give myself a reward because I haven't actually finished. But I will do potential spins just in case. And I think we'll do that, because potentially I will finish this TBR. I believe I will, so I will spin for the reward, but I will also spin a punishment just in case something happens where I don't finish these books. Just in case. So let's do that. Here we go. Oh, the wheel of rewards. Let's find out. That's right on the line. Oh, no, it's not. It's more on blue. It's more on blue. I think it's more on blue. Which is +1 space any direction. So if I get to, let's say, a mood read or something, or a friend family pick, I can move one to save myself from a punishment that way. But if I don't finish... Yellow, only read before work. Okay, so that's only reading a book before work, and I work early. I have to get up an hour early to read. I'm definitely going to finish this TBR now. So where did we leave Kwame last time? Kwame is up here. I believe that's correct. I don't think I've played with this a little bit, since sometimes I play with Fee and I do her TBR, but I think that's correct. I think we're gonna go with it. All right, let's go find out how many books we're reading in May. Reading in May. That's 7? 7. Okay, 7's good. We can do 7. So we have 7 rolls that we're going to do. Let's start with roll number 1. It is moving to shelf 3, the most dangerous shelf. If I hit a mood read or the family friend pick, either of those is a 3rd, which is a punishment. We are in danger. We are in trouble. Let's find out. 4. Oh no! 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, shoot. We have hit friends and family. That's a punishment. Great. Well, at least I've already spun for a punishment. Well, I have to read it before work. It's my last TBR in this house, so I'm letting my sister choose what book.
I like the font on this one.
On this one?
Yeah, I like the font.
Okay. She has chosen In the Shadow of Blackbirds by Kat Winters. This was pulled from the Artsy Fartsy shelf, which she didn't know, but great. I can only read this before work. 387 pages. I read Odd and True by Kat Winters, which was fine. It was a good, fun book. It was great. So this is what this book is about. In the middle of the 1918 influenza epidemic, Mary Shelley Black arrives in San Diego, where she hopes to be reunited with her childhood best friend and first love, Stephen Embers. Stephen went abroad to fight in World War I, and his brother is now profiting from the grief-stricken citizens by claiming to commune with the dead through spirit photography, a practice that scientific-minded Mary Shelley believes is fraud. But the connection to the other side may be more real than Mary Shelley thinks possible, and it might be the only way to learn the truth of what happened to Stephen. I can only read this book in the morning before I go to work. Great. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Great. This was also, it's got an award stamp on it. I forget, what is it? William C. Morris Debut Award. So I guess this was Cat Winter's debut book. I have heard wonderful things about this. It's got some pictures in it. Pictures and things. That's why it was on the artsy-fartsy shelf. That's why I put it on there. So that was book 1. Time for book 2. And hopefully no more punishments. 2. Okay. Slightly less dangerous, but still dangerous. 7. All right, 7 again. Oh, was that TBR bag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's TBR bag. Before I forget, let's put sticker on TBR bag, and let's grab the TBR bag. All right. The TBR bag. Oh God. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with the orange one because I like orange. Oh boy. Okay. Where did I put you? You're down low, aren't you? We have The Royal We, which is by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan. Here is the story of The Royal We. American Rebecca Porter was never one for fairy tales. Her twin sister Lacey has always been the romantic who fantasized about glamour and royalty, fame and fortune. Yet it's Bex who seeks adventure at Oxford and finds herself living down the hall from Prince Nicholas, Great Britain's future king. And when Bex can't resist falling for Nick, the person behind the prince, it propels her into a world she did not expect to inhabit, under a spotlight she is not prepared to face. The pressures are almost too much to bear as Bex struggles to reconcile the man she loves with the monarch he's fated to become. Now, on the eve of the wedding of the century, Bex is faced with whether everything she sacrificed for love, her career, her home, her family, maybe even herself, will have been for nothing. I do like the movie The Prince and Me, so this feels very Prince and Me vibes to it, but we'll see. This one's a bit of a chunk of a book. It's 400 and almost 500 pages. 477 pages of a contemporary romance, so that's a big one. Don't mind, but like, damn. Roll number 3. Going to 6, I get to choose. Okay, we haven't been up on 1 in a while, so we're gonna go up to 1 and see what happens there. Oh, I haven't been zooming in, I've been so bad. Oh my God. I get into a residency period and I forget how to do everything on this channel. And was that 9? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We finally get a card. Back here. We're gonna go with this card. Oh. First letter of last book read. The first letter of the last book that I have read. And we're gonna do this as of right now, because obviously I need to pick the book. So, I'll be finishing Red Rising. I guess officially the first book that I've actually finished is the Atlas 6. So that would be an A, because we don't count the in this. So I need to pick a book starting with A. Okay, starting with A. Well, first let's go to 22 of 2022. Oh, yes, we can do that. That was easy. So we're going to read A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. Now, I love Libba Bray. This is her Gemma Doyle series, which came out before The Diviners, which is the only Libba Bray series I have done. But this is another historical fiction. Got some nice deckled edges here. Let's find out. Gemma Doyle isn't like other girls. Oh, no. She's not like other girls. Girls with impeccable manners, who speak when spoken to, who remember their station, who dance with grace, and who will lie back and think of England when it's required of them. No, 16-year-old Gemma is an island unto herself, sent to the Spence Academy in London after tragedy strikes her family in India. Lonely, guilt-ridden, and prone to visions of the future that have an uncomfortable habit of coming true. Gemma finds her reception a chilly one. She's not completely alone, though. She's been followed by a mysterious young man sent to warn her to close her mind against the visions. For it's at Spence that Gemma's power to attract the supernatural unfolds. There she becomes entangled with the school's most powerful girls and discovers her mother's connection to a shadowy, timeless group called the Order. It's there that her destiny waits, if only Gemma can believe in it. Well, all I know is she's not like other girls. This is a 22 of 2022 that we have to read, so there we are. Okay, roll number 4. 3? Oh no, I don't want to go back to 3. Okay. You're on. Gonna be on the white because it's more aligned to the white. God. Well, now if I hit the family and friend, it's fine because I've already done the punishment. We reset, basically, for that. But if I hit mood read, we're in a problem. 2. Oh, 2 is safe. Right. 1 and 2, we are safe. I'm gonna go with this one. If I can grab it, apparently. Whoa. A new author. Well, that means I can't continue any series. We're gonna go with this because I want to. We're going to read The Cartographers. Is this? Wait, hold on. Is everything historical fiction? No, no. We're kidding. We're leading towards a historical fiction. Is this historical fiction? I don't know. I don't know. But this is a new release, The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. And I've never read anything by Peng Shepherd, so there we go. Is this a debut? I don't know. What other books have you read? I mean, you seem like somebody, I don't know. This might be a debut. Let's see. No, it's not a debut. The Book of M is another book that she has written. So, what is the purpose of a map? Nell Young's whole life and greatest passion is cartography. Her father, Dr. Daniel Young, is a legend in the field and Nell's personal hero, but she hasn't seen or spoken to him ever since he cruelly fired her and destroyed her reputation after an argument over an old, cheap gas station highway map. But when Dr. Young is found dead in his office at the New York Public Library with the very same seemingly worthless map hidden in his desk, Nell can't resist investigating. To her surprise, she soon discovers that the map is incredibly valuable and exceedingly rare. In fact, she may now have the only copy left in existence, because a mysterious collector has been hunting down and destroying every last one, along with anyone who gets in the way. But why? To answer that question, Nell embarks on a dangerous journey to reveal a dark family secret and discovers the true power that lies in maps. All right. I'm excited for this one. It seems really, really cool and, you know, involves bookish things and maps and stuff. So there we go. Hey, we're on roll number 5 now. 6, I get to choose again. Okay, let's go down to 5. We haven't been on 5 in a while. And we go to 2. Oh no! TBR bag. We got TBR bag again. Crap, that's another punishment. That's another punishment. Well, let's see what the punishment is then. Well, actually, no, let's pick the book. Where's the TBR bag? Great. I'm gonna go deep. Got a pink, which likely means it's a newer book that I have. Oh no, it's not. Okay. We're going to read a Julie Kagawa book, and that is The Immortal Rules, which is a vampire book. To survive in a ruined world, she must embrace the darkness. Alison Sekimoto serves in the Fringe, the outermost circle of a walled-in city. By day, she and her crew scavenge for food. By night, any one of them could be eaten. Some days, all that drives Allie is her hatred of them, the vampires who keep humans a blood cattle. Until the night Allie herself dies and becomes one of the monsters. Forced to flee her city, Allie must pass for human as she joins a ragged group of pilgrims seeking a legend, a place that might have a cure for the disease that killed off most of... oh? Civilization. It continues on the other French flap. And created the Rabbids, the bloodthirsty creatures who threaten human and vampire alike. And soon Allie will have to decide what and who is worth dying for again. This is an earlier one of her. I don't know if she come out with this before or after Iron. After. Maybe, I don't know. 2012. This came out in 2012. I think this actually came out before Iron Fey. I think Iron Fey was after. There we go. All right. Okay. Great. What's the punishment? Let's find out. Great. Punishment time. Spin. There we go. We have Unhaul an unread book. I have to unhaul a book. Well, good thing I have a shelf called Last Chance. So if you guys don't know, I already took down all the labels on these shelves as I've been packing, and I've made new labels, so we're going to have a new organization later. But this shelf here is all these books that I've kind of been like, I don't think I want to keep. So if I'm being honest, I think I want to get rid of this book. So this is The Rules for Disappearing by Ashley Elston. It is a witness protection, coming of age, standard YA kind of thriller, but I just don't think I have any interest in it anymore. It's just sitting there. It's between this one, actually going to Second and Charles today, so to sell some books, some other books that I'm getting rid of that have been in my Pango shops, and I'm just like, I don't want to lug all these books that I'm already getting rid of to the new place, so I'm going to get rid of them. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. I've read 10 books right now, by the way, not 8. I completely forgot. I read The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, and this was really fun as well, also a vampire story, and I just finished reading Den of Sparrows last night. So technically my last read book should be starting with an S and not an A, but we've already done it, and I've already messed it up enough, and this video is getting stressful, this whole day is getting stressful, so we're not going to do that anymore. But anyway, Coldest Girl in Cold Town I also read. This was a 22 of 2022, and it's really fun, very interesting, and I really like how it ended, by the way. I do feel like it's a little bit long than it needs to be. It's longer than it needs to be, but I do enjoy this book. Oh my god, it was sitting in the shelf and I missed it. And then Den of Sparrows by Holla, I was her alpha reader and I just finished reading that one, and it comes out later this year, and get your pre-orders now because they're in her coffee shop. I'm terrible. What is wrong with me? It's this accent. It's ruined me. Calculus of Change is a standard contemporary romance. This is 4 books in one. So kind of between these 3 is where I'm leaning to the most. The other ones I still have a bit more of a inclination to read. I think if I had to like choose the bottom books that I likely won't read, it's going to be these 3. So I don't have a 3-sided die. All right, let me pick a 4th book and we'll roll a die. I think a match made in Mehendi. I noticed a lot of contemporaries in this. All right, so these are the 4 books. Potentially, let's roll a 4-sided die to decide. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4-sided die says, oh, you guys can't actually see it, but it is 1. So we will be unhauling Rules for Vanishing. No, not Rules for Vanishing, that's a different book. The Rules for Disappearing. All right. Sorry, you didn't make the cut. You're going to go in the Second and Charles bag now. This is a mean TBR. All right, roll number 6. Damn it! I need to get off this shelf. We're on 3 again. I'm gonna get a mood read. Just freaking watch. Watch me get a 1 or a 2. I'm gonna get a fucking mood read, and I'm gonna have another punishment. So many punishments. 12? Oh god, what's 12? Leave me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're safe. Ooh, safe. It's a card. Let's go with this card. Wow. Urban Fantasy. I'm gonna go with another 22 of 2022 read. And actually, well, yeah. Wait, hold on. I need to be smarter. We're going to be smarter and start doing the series that I need to read. So we're going to read Half Wild by Sally Green. Now granted, there's no audiobook for this, and I read the first book in audiobook, and I don't like that I don't get to continue that way. But this is a series with kind of witches and things. Very, very cool. It was a very unexpected read that it was one I actually was going to unhaul. But then I read it and I was like, I'm glad I didn't. So if you haven't read Half Bad, which is the first book, you might want to skip ahead just in case there are spoilers in this. I'm not sure if there are. Welcome to the world of witches. Kept in a cage for 2 years by the Council of White Witches, Nathan was trained to kill his father, the most violent and feared of the Black Witches. Now Nathan has escaped, and he dreams of a quiet life of freedom with Annalise, the girl he loves. But Annalise is a prisoner, wasting away in death-like sleep. Nathan's friend Gabriel is missing, likely dead, and although Nathan has found his unique magical gift, he can't control it. The council's hunters are on his trail, so he is always on the run. Nathan's only hope of survival is to join with new friends and old enemies in an alliance to bring down the council, and they want Nathan's help. They, too, want Nathan to be a killer. Maybe that's the only way out. Maybe that's just who he is now. So, that is half wild, and there is a third book called Half Lost. That is the book Sally Green. There's no audio book for it in my library. Cool. This is the final roll. Hopefully no more punishments, and we'll be smart about everything. 6. Okay, I get to choose, so I'm getting off 3. We haven't been on 4 today, so let's go on to 4. No more punishments for me. As I roll a what? Is it like 1? Yeah, what? Yeah. I can't see, apparently. 1, which is still, it's a color pick, which we haven't gotten, but we still need to put the rainbow. So where is my rainbow? So we've got the rainbow, which means I need to pick a colored pencil and try to match the cover, basically. A pink book. We're doing pink. Let's be smart again. We're going to continue another series as well that I started, I think I read it last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. But we're going to continue with The Babysitter's Coven. And this is For Better or Cursed. So this is pink, 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 pink book. We've hit a lot of icons this time. So this is the second book in the trilogy. I didn't even know it was going to be a trilogy. I thought it was just going to be a duology. But there is a third one, which I think the third one's like Spells Trouble or something like that. I can't remember. But this was a fun, cute read. It wasn't, you know, amazing, but we'll see. Here is, again, possible spoilers. Not sure. Skip ahead if you haven't read the first book. Esme Pearl's life used to be all about bumming rides and babysitting. Sure, it wasn't glamorous, but it was predictable. All that changed when Cassandra Heaven came to town, and they discovered their complicated and connected legacies. Esme and Cassandra are sitters, supernaturally gifted teens armed with an ever-changing spellbook of the sitter witchcraft to help them protect the innocent and keep evil demons at bay. You know, typical teenage stuff. But just as Esme is starting to adjust to, and maybe even like, her new normal, life lobs another glitter bomb her way. The Synod, the Sisterhood's governing circle, has called a summit, a once-in-a-generation gathering that promises training, education, and a whole lot of icebreakers. Esme should be excited. A summit might mean she can finally get the answers she desperately wants, but she can't shake a building sense of panic. Especially since her dad is MIA, Cassandra's not acting like herself. Pig is out of dog food, Janice is scared to be alone, and there's a guy who seems too good to be true, again. Worst of all, it soon becomes clear that there's no one watching the kids. The summit is an odd mess, but will it be a deadly one too? Da, 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 da. I've also realized, as I was reading that, I did not pick the indie book or the classic that we're reading. So we actually will have 9 books in this TBR. Normally for the indie book, we do a poll, and I do this on a live stream, but because I do not have time and I likely won't be able to have the live stream, we're going to pick it from the bag. We're going to pick several. I'm still going to have everybody poll for it, but we'll give us some options so you don't know what we'll get to. So option number 1 is a book I've already read. We're going to put that there. Option number 2. All right, we have A Drop of Magic. We have A Drop of Magic by L.R. Braden. I picked this up at Mile High Con last year, really quickly. The war isn't over. With the world clinging to a fragile peace forced on the Fae by humanity after the Fairy Wars, metalsmith Alex Blackwood is plunged into the world of a half-fae who traffic in illegal magical artifacts. Her best friend's murder and his cryptic last message place her in the crosshairs of a scheme to reignite the decade-old war between humans and Fae. Worse, violent attacks against her and the arrival of a Fae Knight on a mission force Alex to face a devastating revelation of who and what she is. To catch a killer, retrieve a dangerous artifact, and stop a war, Alex will have to accept that she's an unregistered Fae, Hafer, with a unique magical talent. A talent that would change everything she believes about her past, her art, and her future. Her world is crumbling around her, and Alex will have to decide who to trust if she and the world are going to survive. Got a little urban fantasy there. Potential number 2 is Unknown Love by Amber Craft. This is an ebook, so I don't have a physical copy of it, so here is the ebook. Next book is another book that I don't own physically, but this is Songs of Autumn by Lauren Sevier. Again, ebook, so... And last one. Ooh, it's a pink. I think this is a hollow book. No, it's not. It's a brand new one. Cattails. Cattails is an anthology which features Lena's books. We have a bunch of different stories in here. These are all about cats and different mythologies and things. So just a big anthology about cats. No real description. A lot of cat stories, but Lena's stories in this. Cattails. Yeah, I don't know which one I'm leaning toward, but you guys are free to vote in the comments, vote on the Discord, which book we will read. And now let's pick the classic and be done. From the classic bag, we have... Oh, this one's kind of already open. So we're going to do that one because it's sticking to everyone. Oh, okay. I don't mind this. This actually isn't one of my fancy classics up there. This is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. There. I don't... There's actually no summary about this book, so I don't know. I just know it's spooky. So we're going to have a spooky read in May. But I'm not mad about that one. Not mad. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been Moby fucking Dick. Alright. Haunting of Hill House. I will need my smelling salts for this one, I think. Here's the potential TBR. Oh boy. So many punishments as well. We got so punished so badly. There it is. That's the TBR. Thanks for bearing with me through this bit of chaotic mess of this and the whole accent thing, and I apologise to every British person out there for my terrible accent. Or you're welcome, to give you something to laugh at. That's the last of the game for this apartment, which means we can take it down. Oh no. Oh no. And well, now what I put it. Alright cuties, anyway, I will see you next time. Leave your questions and comments down below or on Facebook, Tumblr and Twitter. Tell me what books you are going to be reading in the month of May. And check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me as a content creator and help with those little moving expenses. Just, you know, in case you feel like it. And I will see you next time. Bye! Down we go to the east. There we are. Oh god. Oh god, I can't do this. No. This is why we need to move. I need a better wheel. Did I forget to do a TBR bag? I might have forgotten to do one. I don't know. I'm going to leave it as is. Oh no. Oh, whoops. Oh my god, I can't spin it. Just trying to spin. Nope. Rolling for a punishment. Oh no, it's my bosom.